As we mentioned in our lecture, all of the programs that we've created so far are not really projects that you would expect to see in a real world environment. So let's change that and actually ask our users for input. As we discussed in the lecture, the way to do this is to first create a string. And we're going to, instead of assigning a value ourselves, we're going to type JOptionPane dot show input dialog. And this is going to ask us for a parameter, which is going to be the text that we're going to ask it to display. And what we're going to do for now is just print this out in the console. So if we run this, we're going to get a pop-up box asking us to input something, which is the exact same message we gave it over here. And if we type something in here, it's going to output that into our console. Now, if you wasn't paying attention, you may not have noticed that as we were typing this, Eclipse imported this for us, which is the JOptionPane library. If Eclipse notices that you're going to be using functionality from a library that it recognizes, it will import this itself for you automatically. It's not something that you need to worry too much about, unless you're using libraries that Eclipse or Java doesn't know about out of the box. If you were to use a custom library, for example. Now, we've obviously shown a pop-up box to get this input, but we've just printed it out to the console. So let's change that. If I can type. So this is asking us for another argument, because at the moment we're only passing it the user message. If you press Control, or if you just highlight it, you can see that it's asking for a component as well as the object. The way the show message dialog works is that it will limit where the message box can move within another window. So if you think of Microsoft Word, for example, you might only be able to move a document around within Microsoft Word if you had multiple documents open. So we're not going to worry about that for now. We're just going to type null and then our user message. If we save that and run, we're going to get this output message box. Now, we've obviously only used the show input dialog and the show message dialog here, but there are many other options available to you. If you type JOptionPane and then a period and then type the word show, you can see that we get this drop down box. If it goes away, you can press Control and space to get it back up. But this lists all of the different possibilities. So you can have show confirm dialog box, show input dialog box that we've used, show internal confirm box, which is a different type, show message dialog, show option dialog, and you can basically play around with these to figure out what each one does. And if you're actually going to be creating applications of your own, I would strongly encourage you to play around with them. because from a user experience perspective, it does make a difference which one you're using. If you're going to ask a user if it's okay to save, should the options available to them be yes or no, or should they be okay and cancel? As I say, from a usability perspective, that does make a difference, but things like that are very easy to overlook.